Hi guys and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. Thanks for tuning back in. Thanks for coming back to see me. I'm really pleased you done so, and I'm even more pleased about to bring you this SH watch. It's a homage of a more well-known watch. I featured it as part of a sort of a video where I featured a couple of watches and stuff, but it's taken me a little while to get to this. So this is the review for this watch. It's the SH09. The version, it's homage in rhymes with Smurf. It's not a blue little man, but it's something that if you like watches, you'll know what I mean. I don't know that there's many better out there with the materials used for the price, because you can pick this watch up for about £130. Highbeat movement, sapphire crystal, really nice bracelet, really solid clasp. Not on the fly, but it's really solid. And I think for that, you're getting an awful lot of watch. Nice slim profile. I think SH watches are doing some nice bits. They're homaging watches that are not as prominent as what some of the other brands are doing, which I like, I'm here for. And I think, again, it's another brand that just has quite a lot of potential, and I'm hoping as time goes on, they start to sort of fulfill some of that potential, because I can see something there. I do also like the fact that the SH looks like size, so it looks like what a personalised watch, even though I haven't. But yeah, you can hope. But yeah, I do think, like I said, they're doing some nice bits. I've got SH08 in as well. I'm going to endeavour to get a review out for that in the future with the carbon dial and stuff. Really, really cool. But like I said, I've been wearing this now for some time. I've had it on and off wrist a few times in the time I've had it. So it felt like a really good time to bring you my thoughts. So like I said, by the time we get to the end of the video, you know, if it's for you, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description. Please feel free to use it. But without further ado, get yourself a nice beverage, a nice brew, because it's about that time to get the camera turned around and get on with it. Hi guys, so this is the watch. This is the packaging I've had from them. So I've had 3 watches in, they've all came with this. This is watch, like I said in the intro, you're gonna recognize it. I'll put the crown in a moment. I have taken off 4 links for it to fit my wrist. It's got pin and collar, but actually the pin and collar on this is very, very straightforward. No issues at all. One of my favorite ones to deal with in terms of pin and collar. And pin and collar is my least favorite adjusting system on a bracelet. So, I mean, that was good. That was a nice surprise, to be honest. Let me now put the crown in. Give me one more wipe. 1 second, guys. So, yeah, the SH09 from SH Watches. I think another brand on AliExpress that has an awful lot of potential. And this one, again, I think they've done a very, very good job with. So, yeah, the SH09. Inside this watch, it's running a PT5000 movement. Apparently, it's the PT5004. I couldn't really find much information on it. All I could think is that perhaps because it hasn't got a ghost position, and obviously the PT5000 is a dated movement, maybe it's been adjusted to take the date off, so it's only got one position. So, yeah, that's all I could think. But what I could see otherwise, it looks like it's the PT5000 movements. That's why you'll see them bits of information about that now. Yeah, Highbeat movement. It's a clone of the ETA 2824 and the SW200. Recognized movement. These can be cost certified as well. Quite highly thought of, to be honest, in terms of movements. So yeah, and to be honest, guys, I've seen other channels and other people speak on these movements, and they've had a bad one. I never have. So I've been very fortunate. And this one is running about 3 seconds slower day. I've always said I'd rather them run a bit fast, but yeah, I can take that all day long. So that's the movement. The construction of the watch, aside from the crystal on the front and back, is all 316L stainless steel, predominantly brushed, but there are some polished elements like the bezel and the crown. But the bezel, case, crown, outer part of the exhibition case back, bracelet and clasp is all 316L stainless steel. You've got a polished edge on the clasp, a little bit of polishing on the bracelet, on the bezel and crown. But yeah, predominantly brushed otherwise, but just a few polished elements to throw in. But yeah, 316L stainless steel. The case thickness of the watch is 11.3 millimeters, which I was extremely impressed with, and it wears really nice given the slim profile. The case diameter, when you measure from the 8 to the 2, it was coming at 37.9 millimeters. When you go from the 9 to the 3, including the crown, it was coming in at bang on 41 millimeters. The lug width on this is 20 millimeters, tapering to 18 millimeters, and back up to 21 mil at fully mill clasp. And the lug to lug tip, the tip of the watch, so it's 44.5 millimeters, but it has got male links to the center link, so that does become 47.8. But really, because of that, it has got a bit of a longer lug to lug, but still 40 for just below 48 still I could take, and it has got a bit of downturn, so I've not really been disliking the male links on this. I normally do, but it's not so bad on this one personally, so yeah, not too bad. The case back is screwed down, just showing off that PT 5004 movement, but essentially PT 5000. Screwed down sapphire crystal on the back. We'll see if we have a particular sandwich in a moment. Push-pull crown, just situated at the 3 o'clock position. High polished bezel. I like the fact it's not too thick, the bezel. I think the bezel works on this really, really well. 20mm lug width. You've got a couple of mils of taper, and then you're down to that fully milled clasp. They could have probably done with putting a couple more micro adjustment holes, but I think 3 will do the job. But yeah, where they got all that room, they could have done. But yeah, really substantial clasp. Very, very sturdy. On the fly is the order of the day nowadays. But I mean, when you get a clasp that looks like this, it's not bad, is it? Let's be honest, we'll take that all day long. What's the crystal? What's the crystal saying? So it is indeed a sapphire crystal. And given it's got a bit of domage going on there, I can't say I'm hating the AR coating. I think the AR coating on it is pretty good, because when you've got a bit of domage and with all the lights that I use, it's kind of inevitable you get a bit of glare. But yeah, not too bad at all. It's a sapphire crystal. The water resistance, you'll make that down at the 6, is 100 meters. So that'll give you 10 atmospheres of water resistance, and the weight will appear in the top right. So with those 4 links removed, it's coming in at 131.9 grams. So yeah, a little bit lighter than I expected. Obviously it's not very big, quite slim, because it feels quite sturdy in hand. So the weight is distributed nicely. But yeah, that's the weight. But let's have a look at the dial in a bit more detail. So you'll see on the dial, it's a watch you probably recognize if you're into watches. But the dial itself, so nothing's been applied onto the dial. Everything's printed. You've got a minute track going around the outer edge, quite pronounced. You're not going to miss that minute track. It's quite pronounced. Inside that, you've got numerals from 1 to 12. Nice and clean. Look nicely done. You've got the logo, SH, just below the 12. I said before, I like it because it does look like side, doesn't it? It's like it does. It makes me feel like I've got a personalized watch. So I think that looks really, really cool. You got automatic, 10 bar, 100 meters down at the 6. You got a really nice deep black for the dial, and everywhere else you've sort of got the yellow of the indices and the logo and yeah, everything else. I think the black with the sort of goldy yellow looks very, very nice, and I can see the appeal of the actual watch itself, the one this is homaging. I can see you've got nice cathedral style hands. The hands proportions are nice. You've got brushed hands, really good proportions in terms of where they reach out to. I think that's kind of optimal in terms of kind of where you would want it to be, and look very, very clean. Like I said, nice deep black. You got the yellow, and you got the yellow blacks, and you got the brushed hands. I think it looks very, very nice. It's a military style watch, but yeah, very dressy, and probably one you could use in most occasions because of it, to be honest. Now you're wondering, so what's the loom saying? So I'm gonna bring the loom up now, and as the loom went, it wasn't bad, to be honest. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's definitely above average. I wasn't sure what to expect, given the style of the watch it is. With dive watches, they're the main ones. You normally look for really good loom. And the loom on this was more than passable, to be honest. It was one that, in a way, did surprise me because the rest of the watch is so well put together. And when you're operating with a Highbeat movement, sapphire sandwich, the bracelet you're getting, the finishing, the construction, at a modest price point, you don't know really where they've cut corners. But fortunately, the loom on this is decent. So yeah, nice little surprise. Given the fact there's no date on the dial because but there is only one position, and it will hack. You put it back in, it will start back up again. It was a nice surprise. You turn it away from you, here you can charge it. It's a nice surprise to see that they've done that in terms of taking the ghost position off and only having one position. So yeah, that was nice. I've not seen that with the PT 5000 generally, so that was a nice little surprise. But yeah, that's everything going on there, guys. That's the dial, the hands, the indices, the loom, obviously bits of the movement and all that. But let me just pop it on the wrist quickly, give you an idea of what it looks like on my wrist. 1 second, guys. Okay, so guys and girls, this is what it looks like on my wrist. My wrist is a 7¼ inch wrist, and I've still got 2 more levels of micro adjustment I can use. I've taken off 4 links for it to fit my wrist, so it's going to fit many wrist sizes. I've given a little love mark down there as well from wearing it. But watches are to be enjoyed, aren't they? Very clean looking. I like the hands, I like the dial. The bezel's nice in terms of not being too pronounced. Nice slim profile, nice bracelet, nice clasp. Very solidly built. And I bring the price up in front of me. You'll see not a huge amount of money. And I'm sure during sales, you'll get a bit more off that as well. So, yeah, what do you all make of it? Okay, so guys and girls, that would now take me on to what I think is pants and pucker about the watch. If you've ever watched before, you not always start with pants. I like to go on a high with pucker. So what I think is pants about the watch is, guys, I'm going to be honest, there's not a great deal, to be honest. I'd ordinarily mention the mailwin links and stuff, but there's only 2 things I want to say. First, being the gap there with the clasp. It feels uncomfortable. It looks like a bit of an eyesore sometimes when you're wearing it. Yeah, it's quite large, isn't it? You can almost fit another link in that gap. So yeah, I'd rather not that not been there, to be honest. It's a bit of an eyesore. And just too sterile, like in terms of, they've got their logo on the dial, but there's nothing on the crown, nothing on the clasp. Like I said, the bracelet and clasp are really well engineered. But yeah, I don't know why it needs to be so sterile, generally. So they're the 2 things I'm going to say, is the clasp gap and too sterile generally. What I think is pucker. You know what's coming first, don't you? That Sapphire sandwich. I do love me a Sapphire sarnie, I can't lie. So yeah, good to see it on this watch. The hands, yeah, the hands on this are very nice. Good proportions, well done. Yeah, really liking that. The loom, like I said, the loom was a big surprise. Like I said, not incredible, but good. And it was a nice surprise that they put good loom on it. The movement, PT 5000 movement's a movement that I like. Never had a bad one. Nice to see this one doesn't have a ghost position. I'm here for that. The bracelet and collar, very easy to size. And it's just looks so well made, so well finished, so well put together. Yeah, really cool. The clasp is so solid. You'd expect it to be on a much more expensive watch than the one it's on. So yeah, nice. The size of this watch, like I said, 11mm thick, just below 38mm diameter, 20mm lug width. This is gonna be a bit of a one that you could wear on all occasions, to be honest. Change the straps out nice and easy as well. And finally, the general look. This is a watch that obviously is Homage in a very well-known watch. And I like the original, and I can see why that has a lot of appeal. And I think SH have executed this very well. So they're the things I'm gonna say for puckers. I'm gonna go with a Sapphire sandwich, hands, loom, movement, bracelet, class, size, and the general look of the watch. Oh, so yeah, quite a bit there. And that'll take me on to, would I recommend this watch? And I mean, there does come times when I do these reviews, and like I said, I'm always going to do pants and pucker just because that's my thing. And I also like to offer up opinions rather than just doing a show and tell. That's not a bit of me. It's quite obvious with ones like this when you got so much for puckers. I'm always going to say yes. A really cool watch from a brand that I do expect to do quite a bit, but I think they've got a lot of potential. I'd like to see them push themselves because I do think they've got something there. So yeah, I do think it's a cracking watch. But guys and girls, please let me know what you think about this watch, more importantly, and maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as I always say, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and always watch the time. Take care, guys. All the very best.